It's day 42 of the NBA playoffs, and the Heat have just beaten the Lakers. And what a finish that was by LeBron James and Jimmy Butler. I'll get into their performances in a minute, but Jimmy Butler, he was 11 of 19 shooting with 35 points, and on the other hand, LeBron James had 15 of 21 shooting and had 40 points in this game. The first thing I want to talk about is the fact that I want to talk about that last possession. There were two possessions. The last second to last possession of the game, with the Danny Green missed three. First of all, that's kind of been a microcosm of their season. Through, 82 games of the regular season, or not 82 games, but I think it's like 68 games of the regular season. Danny Green shot 36% from three, and during the playoffs, he shot 33% from three, which isn't like totally bad by any percent or by any means, but from a player who was shooting a 40% or was a 40% career shooter, and last year on the Raptors, he shot 45%, and that's a huge difference. Lakers fans and I guess national basketball critics, whatever you want to call them, they've been very critical of Danny Green this year. And I think it's because some of it is because he's not performed to expectations, but also because he just when he shot that three, I didn't expect that three to go in. Like, I'm pretty sure the Heat's game plan was to double LeBron when he drives into the paint and leave Danny Green open from three, because they've been doing that all series long. For Frank Vogel, that wasn't the best play call. The Heat kind of took away this game and they won it. Again, it was a duel. Let's get into LeBron James' performance. He was doing really well. I think this is one of his better finals games of all time, which for LeBron James, that's saying a lot. I do not think this is his best finals game of all time, just because, he didn't win it. It doesn't even deserve to be in the conversation for that. Again, he was 15 of 21 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and a +7 on the plus-minus scale. Another player who played well tonight was Anthony Davis. Now, Anthony Davis, in the first 5 minutes of the game, he was kind of roughed up a little bit. It kind of seems like I don't want to speculate, but it seems like he's somewhat injured. Everyone at this point is not completely, healthy and at the point they were at the beginning of the season, or even in this season. Especially with it's been a year, actually. It's been a year. It's a full year of this NBA season. But in a regular NBA season, by playoff time or by the conference finals or by the finals, you're not completely healthy. But it does seem like Anthony Davis is playing through a lot of pain right now. Kind of expected, because he's been injury prone his entire career. He doesn't play this, or doesn't want to play the center position or the 5 position, because the physicality of playing the center position in the NBA. But he played well tonight despite which seems like some kind of injury. Again, I don't want to speculate. Before I get to the bad bench performance that was tonight for the Lakers, this game was really, it was somewhat physical. Dwight Howard and Jimmy Butler got into an altercation. I think it was off, getting a rebound, which was kind of interesting. It really did seem like the Heat were playing tonight with a lot of energy, and it was really nice to see. The Heat play, always with a lot of energy, but it was nice to see tonight. And I think that was because they are they get eliminated if they lose today, or lose yesterday, whenever this comes out. But yeah, now let's get into the Lakers bench that was pretty bad today. Okay, here are some offensive stats for you. Marcus Morris, 0 of 2. He was 0 of 2 from 3. He had 4 personal fouls, and he He was up -2 on the plus-minus scale. 0 points tonight. Kyle Kuzma, 3 of 10 from the floor. 0 of 4 from 3. He had 7 points and was at -17 on the plus-minus scale. Rajon Rondo was 1 of 7 tonight, and was 0 of 3 from the three-point land. Did hit 2 free throws, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And I guess the big thing that was kind of missing from Rondo's games tonight is his assists. He only had 5 tonight. I think that was kind of because he was just shooting bad, and it's easy to guard Rondo when he's not. I mean, it's never easy to guard an NBA player, but for an NBA level talent, it's much easier to guard Rondo when he's not shooting well. Alex Caruso played a little bit better. He was 1 of 3 tonight, 1 of 2 from 3 at 3 points. But it was really bad bench performance for the Lakers tonight. Only had 18 points off the bench tonight, and that's just not going to cut it when you're playing basically a 9-man rotation and everyone's playing heavy minutes. But let's get into the Heat side of things. Let's go through Caldwell Pope. He was actually playing somewhat well tonight. He was 6 of 15 from the floor, 3 of 8 from 3. He had 16 points overall. He was pretty good. I think one of the things that surprised me overall so far is his jump shots improved a little bit in the playoffs. And I think that's huge for the Lakers just because besides LeBron and Anthony Davis, they need to find other ways to score. And I think Caldwell Pope can produce some of it at least. Now let's get to the Heat side of things. So first thing I'm going to address is Jimmy Butler's great performance. Talk about it a little more. He was 11-19 from the floor, 1 of 3 from the 3-point line, 12 of 12 from the free throw line, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, 5 steals, 1 block, and a +5 on the plus-minus scale, and he had 35 points. Now, I do think this was a little bit better than his Game 4 performance or his Game 3 performance, just because he kind of dueled LeBron James in the last minutes and held his own, which I think was really impressive. Just trading basket for basket on either end. And I think that was huge that was the reason the Heat were in this game, and that was the reason they won this game, which was the final stretch. And Jimmy Butler was huge tonight for the Heat. Now, next thing I want to talk about. This was a very short rotation for the Heat tonight, a 7-man rotation. Everyone playing heavy minutes. The person that played the least amount of minutes was Iguodala, who only played 20 minutes. One huge surprise for the Heat that's come up big for them is the Kendrick Nunn emergence. He kind of didn't. It's not really an emergence, but the way he's come back. He didn't play. I didn't play all really in the conference finals. And that was just kind of because he didn't really play at all during these playoffs. I think that was because he was injured and he was kind of making his way back in the rotation. And then Solomon Hill or Kelly Olynyk. The only reason he came back in these playoffs was because they got blown out in Game 1. And he came up really huge tonight. And I don't think they win this game without Kendrick Nunn's performance. Next thing I want to talk about is Duncan Robinson. It seems like this was the best game of his playoffs this year. He was 8 of 15 from the floor, 17 of 13 from the 3-point line, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. He had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a +7 on the plus-minus scale, and had 26 points. He was really huge tonight, and they're going to need the 3-ball if they want to win Game 6. I kind of want to note about this Heat team tonight. It really did seem like no one was having a bad game. Statistically, it looks like Iguodala had a bad game on the offensive end. But, at this point, you really do want him for that wing defense, especially against LeBron James. They all came up huge tonight. Do I think this is sustainable? A little bit. If I'm the Lakers, I'm a little bit concerned. But not totally concerned. I do think the Lakers will win in Game 6. But if it goes to a Game 7, all bets are off. And the Heat can definitely win this series if they can force it to a Game 7. Because anything could happen in an NBA Game 7. Stats before I get into shooting stats that I think were pretty interesting. Jimmy Butler, as I said, he was really dominant in that fourth quarter. And after the Lakers led 99-98, Jimmy Butler would score on the 11 remaining, or score or assist on the 11 remaining buckets for the Heat in this game. Is according to Jackson Frank of LibertyBallers.com. Just saw a tweet of it. I don't want to take credit for it, but yeah, he came up with that stat. So yeah, I thought it was interesting. So all right, next one. The Lakers had a lot of fast break points tonight. They had 25 points to the Heat 4. That was a huge edge for them tonight and kept them in this game. Final thing I want to get into before I get into shooting stats is that last play again, or the last meaningful play. That LeBron drive to the basket pass out to Danny Green. I don't think Danny Green is the best guy to have out there, but I just don't know who you put in because everyone else was shooting horrible from the floor. I'm going to touch on what happened after Danny Green missed that shot. Marcus Morris, he grabbed the rebound, and he took like a step back dribble, not a step back dribble, just took a step back and a dribble, and then I think it was a shot, or maybe it was some kind of lob kind of play for Anthony Davis. I don't think it was. It didn't look like maybe it was a shot. I don't think it was. But yeah, it was pretty terrible execution once the Lakers got that offensive rebound. I got really from this game, this series is not over. Got to stop crowning the Lakers the champs before they win it. But now let's get into shooting stats. And yeah, all right, here we go. The Lakers shot 46% from overall from the field, 36% from three. Which is, side note, their second loss when they're shooting above 29% from three. And they shot from within the three-point arc 54%. On the other hand, the Heat shot 45% from the field, 42% from three. One thing that I forgot to mention was their hot three-point shooting tonight. But most of that came from Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero. Duncan Robinson 7 of 13 and Tyler Hero 2 of 3. And they shot 48% from within the three-point arc. And that's really all I got from this game. This series, to conclude, is not over. It's going to be an interesting Game 6. And yeah, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.